Touch Me starts with a bold swing, a nearly 10-minute monologue that's supposed to hook you into its world. And honestly, that's where you already know if this movie is going to work, or completely fall apart. Unfortunately, it leans toward the latter. The film follows two codependent best friends who become addicted to the touch of an alien with a heroin-like effect. It's a wild concept, part psychosexual horror, part comedy, but instead of feeling unique, it ends up messy and frustrating. The big problem? This movie wants to be a mix of trauma and comedy, but it never finds the balance. Unlike grounded films like Sorry, Baby or I Used to Be Funny, Touch Me feels hollow. The characters don't feel like real people, they feel like exaggerated emotions. Joey and Craig come off more like ideas than actual humans, stuck behind layers of self-deprecation with no real depth underneath. So when the film tries to hit emotional beats, they don't land. The alien concept falls apart. The alien element sounds interesting at first, this being whose touch instantly makes everything better. But here's the problem, it raises more questions than it answers, and never bothers to resolve them. At some point, it feels like the alien could have just been replaced by a manipulative human, and nothing would change. That's how underdeveloped the sci-fi side is. Even worse, the film knows this. There's a moment where the story literally questions its own logic through a therapy session, but instead of being clever, it just exposes how weak the writing really is. The one saving grace. Lou Taylor Pucci as Brian the alien is easily the best part of the film. He fully commits to the role, bringing this weird, hypnotic energy that's actually fun to watch. There's even a running bit where he processes emotions through dance, and somehow, it works. It's strange, funny, and the only time the film feels alive. Final thoughts. Touch Me clearly has big ideas. It wants to say something about trauma, self-destruction, and healing. But instead of exploring those themes in a meaningful way, it gets stuck in its own negativity, so focused on its characters' dysfunction that it forgets to give us a reason to care about them. By the end, it doesn't feel deep, it feels draining. Verdict. Bold concept. Weak execution. One great performance. Touch Me tries to be weird, emotional, and insightful, but ends up feeling empty.